Everglades National Park is 1.5 million acres of wetland, forest, and marine habitats. We stay in Flamingo, at the southernmost part of mainland Florida. I'm going to ride my bicycle from Flamingo to the park entrance and point out some of the highlights along the way. The 39-mile route passes through mangrove forests, a freshwater marsh, a dwarf cypress forest, and pine lands. I'll leave from our campsite in the staff housing area on the Florida Bay. Let's go. Starting up the road north through the mangrove forest, the vultures don't think I'm going to make it. Sometimes I wonder myself. We call this area the Ghost Swamp. I don't think it has an official name. Hurricane Irma flooded this area and drowned the mangrove trees. It has been slow to recover. Lupe Pond Kayak Trail goes to the Whitewater Bay and eventually meets up with the 99-mile Wilderness Waterway. Mrazek Pond is a beautiful pond in the mangrove forest. You can usually see a few birds. Sometimes you see lots of birds. If you see lots of birds, you're going to see lots of people. Mangroves are found along the coast in areas where salt and freshwater mix together. They protect coastal land from hurricanes, act as nurseries, and provide nesting areas for birds. Westlake has a picnic pavilion on the lake and a boardwalk through a forest of red, white, and black mangrove trees. The lake has a kayak canoe trail that winds out to the Florida Bay. The Hells Bay Trail got its name because it is hell to get into and hell to get out of. The trail is full of tight twists and turns that make it slow going and a challenge to navigate. My wife has taken many trips on this trail, including sometimes camping in the wilderness on a chickee. 9 Mile Pond features a 5.2-mile kayak trail through a shallow grassy marsh. It is very common to see crocodiles or alligators sunning on the shore of the pond. The wildlife doesn't scare off the kayakers. This is one of the places where my wife leads kayak tours. Now we start transitioning from the mangrove forest to the freshwater river of grass. You lose your shade trees, so you really start to feel the subtropical sun. This guy's using his truck for shade. Freshwater marsh is the landscape most people think of when they think of the Everglades. A wide, shallow, slow-moving river of grass. Hammocks are dense tropical forests located on slightly elevated limestone ridges. The slight change in elevation supports very different animal and plant life than the surrounding freshwater glades. The hammocks rarely flood and stay dry all year. Native American Indians built their chickees in hammocks. The road coming up on the left leads to Mahogany Hammock. Mahogany Hammock features a raised boardwalk through a dense, jungle-like hardwood forest with mahogany and gumbo limbo trees. The road to the hammock is a good place for birding. Cypress domes look like small, raised hills from a distance, but are actually depressions in the limestone bedrock. Gators move into the depressions, and over time, they use their tails to expand the holes. These areas tend to stay wet, even when the surrounding glades are dry. These cypress trees are 100 or 200 years old. They only grow to heights of 6 to 15 feet due to low nutrients and the limestone bedrock limiting their growth. Coming up on Paheoki, the name means river of grass. The road back to the parking area is always good for spotting wildlife. Paeoke features a boardwalk overlooking the River of Grass. This sign always makes me smile because I think of signs like this in the mountains, not marking an elevation of 3 feet. Truthfully, it is significant because it marks the start of a large limestone ridge that supports a broader range of plants and animals. The pine lands is a forest of pines, palmettos, and wildflowers. You are more likely to see bigger mammals here. At one time, this is what all the land where Miami stands today looked like. The Long Pine Key Campground is beside a small lake. This is also where you find the Long Pine Key Nature Trail. The trail is pretty rocky, but I usually ride it a couple times each year. It cuts through the pine land for about 7 miles. The southern end of the trail is Glades Lake, a picnic area where you're likely to see gators and birds. North of Long Pine Key, one side of the road is pine forest, the other side is a freshwater marsh. The Aninga Trail at Royal Palm is a boardwalk into a sawgrass marsh. This is a very, very popular place to see wildlife. North of Royal Palm is freshwater marsh until you get very close to the park entrance.